Hi guys, Leanne here from the Wave Aquatics, and I just wanted to introduce you to these absolutely stunning fish that I have. These are my wild group of Frontosas. These are Tanganyikan Cichlids, if you didn't already know, and these are something else. These are pretty special fish. A lot of the times they tend to get overlooked and people tend to pass them by, sticking to more traditional Malawi fish, but I'm here to change all that. These are some absolutely stunning fish. Tanganyikans in themselves are so beautiful, so colourful and so interesting to watch. So I just wanted to introduce you to some of the species that I have. I have lots of different Tanganyikan varieties and I'm just going to start showing you guys them. So starting off, these are the biggest ones that I have. These are the Frontosas, these are the blue Zaires, and these are the wild group. So hopefully you enjoy this, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more Tanganyikan Cichlids. So in this tank I have a mixture of males and females. I don't just have the one male. That isn't something that I like to do in my tank. I like to have a mixture. I know there's a lot of controversy out there saying that you should only have the one male in with your group and the rest should just all be females. Like I say, that isn't something that I like to do. I like to have them in how they would be naturally, because in the wild that's not how they're going to be. They are going to be fighting for dominance, and as long as it doesn't get out of hand and as long as it is in a more controlled way that is going to keep them safe, then I do like to see them in all of their glory and how they would naturally act, deciding who is going to be the more dominant male and who's going to be more submissive. That is something that I enjoy watching in my tank. Now if you can see these two males in the front, you can see that they have what's known as a concave, and this is because they are wild fish. They aren't tank bred, and this is how they would be in the wild, so it isn't anything to do with parasites or anything like that. It is how their body shapes are naturally. They feed a lot differently in their natural habitat to what they do in a tank. There is less food out there for them, so they would only eat when food is available, so they can go longer periods of time without feeding. They are slow moving fish, so the faster they move, the more energy they're using. This is something that is instinctive to them, to swim slower and reserve that energy rather than nipping about like you'd see most Tanganyikan cichlids, especially like Tropheus or other Malawi cichlids. They're faster moving. These take it really easy because of the size, because of the energy that it takes for them to move. And when you don't know when your next meal's going to be, it makes sense to reserve that energy for when they're going to need it more. This can be seen with the females of the groups as well, that they need to consume a lot of food to get through their gestational period of carrying the eggs in their mouths. They can't eat whilst they are doing this, so they need to consume more food beforehand before they're going to breed. Which is one of the main reasons why Frontosas are so hard to breed, especially wild Frontosas in a tank situation. It isn't something that is natural to them, so it does take a little bit longer for them to do this. Frontosas don't actually start breeding until they get older. It is the same as a lot of other species, not just in fish but in other types of animals, the larger that they are, the longer it takes them to develop into adulthood and maturity. So they aren't as developed as what smaller fish and smaller animals are. It takes them longer to develop to reach that sexual maturity. So what I would say is, if you do have Frontosas and you are looking to breed them, I think the key is patience. There is lots of different factors that go into when they're ready to breed. Not only the right environment, the right water parameters, the right feeding schedules. The females are only going to be open to breeding if they understand that it's going to be something that is going to be sustainable for them. I found that these fish tend to thrive in a species only tank. Not just in a sense for breeding purposes, but for the overall health of the fish, the way their bodies are. You can see that the males and even the females do have a lot longer trailers than what they would do. Now, bear in mind, these are wild fish, they aren't tank bred. So tank bred fish do have smaller trailers, but you can tell the difference. And having smaller fish or fish of another species in your tank, they are going to nip at these. They are going to nip at their trailers and their fins, and they are going to get damaged. That's not to say that this is not going to happen in a species only tank. Not so much with their trailers, that doesn't tend to happen. It's more of their fins. You will see scrapes to do with fighting, even clashes on rocks, whatever substrate you have in there. It is a natural thing that's going to happen. And bear in mind that these fins are made up of tiny little bones which are fragile, and it's the bones that are breaking or cracking that's causing the damage. So automatically don't jump to the conclusion if they do get into a scrape or you see marks on their fins that it is automatically some sort of a bacterial infection or fungal infection. Fish are pretty resilient if they are kept in clean water. I'm a strong believer that is one of the keys to success in keeping fish healthy, is good clean water and good nutrition. That's where it all starts with them. In order to fight off any sorts of infections that they do get, that is the basis of how they're going to do it, by good nutrition and good clean water. You'll be amazed at how much they can actually fight off if they are in a good situation like that, a good environment. So these are some pretty amazing fish in my opinion, and I really hope that you enjoyed this, enjoyed seeing them just swimming about, just naturally being themselves. If you want to subscribe, that would be amazing. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think about them. I'd love to hear your opinion. Until next time, bye now.